Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, we will solve MCQ on sport. All questions are important. Watch the video till then. Before the video begin, I will request a small favor. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell button too so that you can keep getting notifications. So let's start the video without further delay and look into the first question. First question is, who is the first Asian to swim across the ocean? 7. Answer is Rohan More. Rohan More. Rohan More. He is the first Asian to swim across the ocean. 7. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first recipient of the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award? Answer is Vishwanath Anand. Vishwanath Anand is the first recipient of the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first recipient of the Dhyan Award? Answer is Sarfraz Birasadar. Sarfraz Birasadar. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to win a Grand Slam title? Answer is Mahesh Bhupati. Mahesh Bhupati is the first Indian to win a Grand Slam title. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to win the Badminton World Championship gold? Answer is PV Sindhu. PV Sindhu. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to win the FIDE World Chess Championship? Answer of this question is Vishwanath Anand. Vishwanath Anand is the first Indian to win the FIDE World Chess. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first woman to swim across the English Channel? Answer is Arati Saha. Arati Saha. Okay. Arati Saha is the first woman to swim across the English Channel. Moving on to the next question. Who was the first Indian to score a century in Test? Answer is Lala Amarnath. Lala Amarnath was the first Indian to score a century in Test. Moving on to the next question. Who won the most French Open men's singles title? Answer is Rafael Nadal. Rafael Nadal. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Who won the most Grand Slam men's single titles? Answer is PV Sindhu. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to win the FIDE World Chess Championship? Answer is Vishwanath Anand. Moving on to the next question. Who won the most Grand Slam men's single titles? Answer is Roger Federer. Roger Federer. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Who won the most Grand Slam women's singles titles? Answer is Serena Williams. First Women's Cricket World Cup was held in the year 1973. Moving on to the next question. In which country there was the first ICC Champions Trophy held? Answer is Bangladesh. Bangladesh. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Who was the first Indian woman to scale Mount Everest? Answer is Basundari Pal. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to win the All England Badminton Championships? Answer is Prakash Padukone. Prakash Padukone is the first India to win the All England Badminton Championship. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to take a hat trick in ODI? Answer is Chetan Sharma. Chetan Sharma is the first Indian to take a hat trick in ODI. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian to swim across the English Channel? Answer is Mihir Sen. Mihir Sen is the first Indian to swim across the English Channel. Moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question. Who is said to the father of the modern Olympic Games? Answer is Pierre de Coubertin. Pierre de Coubertin. He is the father of the modern Olympic Games. Moving on to the next question. Which is the first team to win the Women's Cricket World Cup? Answer is England. England is the right answer of this question. Okay, moving on to the next question. Which is the first team to win the FIFA World Cup? Answer is Uruguay. Uruguay is the first team to win the FIFA World Cup. Moving on to the next question. Which was the first Asian country to host the Olympics? Answer is Japan. Japan. Okay, moving on to the next question. Next question is, where is the headquarters of the Badminton World Federation? Answer is Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is the headquarters of the Badminton World Federation. Okay, moving on to the next question. Who is the first person to swim across the English Channel? Answer is Matthew Webb. Matthew Webb is the first person to swim across the English Channel. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first woman in the world to swim the seven seas? Answer is Bola Chaudhary. Bola Chaudhary. Bola Chaudhary is the first woman to the world to swim the seven seas. Moving on to the next question. Who is the youngest Indian to captain its Test cricket team? Answer is Mansur Ali Khan Pataudi. Mansur Ali Khan Pataudi. Moving on to the next question. Where is the headquarters of the International Boxing Association? Answer is Lausanne, Switzerland. Okay, Lausanne, Switzerland. Moving on to the next question. Which country hosted the first Asian Games? Answer is India. India hosted the first Asian Games. Moving on to the next question. Which country hosted the first Commonwealth Games? Answer is Canada. Canada. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first cricket player to be awarded the Arjuna Award? Answer is Salim Durrani. Salim Durrani is the first cricket player to be awarded the Arjuna Award. Okay, moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian gymnast to win a medal at the Commonwealth Games? Answer is Ashish Kumar. Ashish Kumar is the first Indian gymnast to win a medal at the Commonwealth Games. Moving on to the next question. Who started the ancient Olympic Games? Answer is the Greeks. The Greeks started the ancient Olympic Games. Moving on to the next question. Who the first Indian was to win an individual gold medal in the Olympics? Answer is Abhinav Bindra. Abhinav Bindra. Answer is Abhinav Bindra. Okay, moving on to the next question. Who was the first Indian to win an individual medal in the Olympics? Answer is K.D. Jadhav. K.D. Jadhav. Moving on to the next question. Who won the maximum number of Grand Slam women's doubles title? Answer is Martina Navratilova. Martina Navratilova. Moving on to the next question. Who won the most Australian Open singles titles? Answer is Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic won the most Australian Open singles titles. Moving on to the next question. Who was the first Indian cricketer to take all 10 wickets in Test cricket? Answer is Anil Kumble. Anil Kumble was the first Indian cricketer to take all 10 wickets in Test cricket. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian woman to win an individual medal at the Olympic Games? Answer is Karnam Malleshwari. Karnam Malleshwari. Moving on to the next question. Who is the first Indian cricketer to score a century in ODI? Answer is Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev. Moving on to the next question. Who is known as Flying Sikh? Answer is Milkha Singh. Milkha Singh is known as Flying Sikh. Moving on to the next question. Deepa Karmakar related to which sport? Answer is gymnastic. Deepa Karmakar related to gymnastic. Moving on to the next question. Which is the largest cricket stadium in the world? Narendra Modi Stadium at Motera. Okay, Motera Stadium is the largest cricket stadium in the world. Moving on to the next question. Who is the only golfer to win the Masters tournament 6 times? Answer is Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus. Moving on to the next question. Which is the highest sporting award in India? Answer is Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. Moving on to the next question. Where were the first modern Olympic Games held? Answer is Athens, Greece. Athens, Greece. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Where is the birthplace of cricket? Answer is England. Moving on to the next question. When was the first Commonwealth Games held? Answer is 1930. In 1930. First Commonwealth Games held. Moving on to the next question. Who was the first one-day cricket match played? Answer is 5th January 1971. Moving on to the next question. When did Sachin Tendulkar make his Test debut? Answer is 15 November 1989. Moving on to the next question. What is the national sport of Sri Lanka? Answer is volleyball. Volleyball is the national sport of Sri Lanka. Moving on to the next question. What is the national game of England? Answer is cricket. Cricket is the national game of England. Moving on to the next question. Usain Bolt is from which country? Answer is Jamaica. Usain Bolt is from Jamaica. Moving on to the next question. Tour de France associated with the game? Answer is cycling. Moving on to the next question. The first football World Cup is held in the year dash. Answer is 1930. The first football World Cup is held in the year 1930. Moving on to the next question. The first men's cricket World Cup is held in the year dash. Answer is 1975. Moving on to the next question. The first ancient Olympic Games were held in the year dash. Answer is 776 BC. Moving on to the next question. Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium is located in which city? Answer is Goa. Moving on to the next question. When the first Hockey World Cup was held? Answer is 1971. Moving on to the next question. When the first South Asian Games were held? Answer is 1984. Moving on to the next question. In which country Olympic Museum is located? Answer is Switzerland. Moving on to the next question. How many players play volleyball in each team? Answer is 6. Moving on to the next question. How many players played football in each team? Answer is 11. 11 players play football in each team. Moving on to the next question. Lal Bahadur Stadium is located in which city? Answer is Hyderabad. Moving on to the next question. What is the national game of Bhutan? Answer is archery. Moving on to the next question. When the National Sports Day of India is celebrated? Answer is 29 August. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Pankaj Advani is related to which sport? Answer is billiard. Pankaj Advani is related to billiard sport. Moving on to the next question. Pigeon is the nickname of which cricketer? Answer is Glenn McGrath. Glenn McGrath. Moving on to the next question. How many players play hockey in each team? Answer is 11. 11. 11 players play hockey in each team. Moving on to the next question. In which year Asian Game started? Answer is 1951. Asian Game started in 1951. Moving on to the next question. In which year independent India received the first Olympic team medal? Answer is 1948. 1948. First Olympic team medal received in 1948. Moving on to the next question. What is the national game of Japan? Answer sumo. Sumo is the national game of Japan. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Popping craze is related to which sport? Answer is cricket. Popping craze is related to cricket. Okay. Moving on to the next question. PV Sidhu is associated with which sport? Answer is badminton. Badminton. Moving on to the next question. D. Regatta is associated with which sport event? Answer is drawing. Drawing. Regatta is associated with drawing sport event. Moving on to the next question. Rover up is associated with which sport? Answer is football. Rover up is associated with football. Moving on to the next question. Ryder Cup is related to which game? Answer is good. Ryder Cup. Answer is good. Moving on to the next question. Chini Wilson is associated with which sport? Answer is athletic. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Shiva Thapa is associated with which sport? Answer is boxing. Shiva Thapa associated with boxing. Moving on to the next question. The headquarters of the IOC is associated at answer is Lausanne. Moving on to the next question. Switzerland Prakash Padukan is associated with which game? Answer is badminton. Badminton. Okay. Moving on to the next question. The term Grand Slam is associated with which sport? Answer is tennis. The term Grand Slam is associated with tennis. Moving on to the next question. Winter Olympic Games starting which year? Answer is 1924. Moving on to the next question. Thomas Cup is associated with which game? Answer is badminton. Thomas Cup is associated with badminton. Moving on to the next question. In which year Olympic flame made its first appearance? Answer is 1928. Moving on to the next question. Amsterdam Olympic Games. A score of triple won by a batsman or a team is sometimes called as dash. Answer is Nelson. Moving on to the next question. Babita Kumari is related to which sport? Answer is wrestling. Babita Kumari is related to wrestling sport. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Whom the Dronacharya award is given? Answer is courses. Okay, courses. Moving on to the next question. Irani Trophy is associated with which sport? Answer is cricket. Irani Trophy is associated with cricket. Moving on to the next question. The Indian football team made its first appearance at Olympics in dash. Answer is 1948. 1948. Moving on to the next question. The term T is connected with which game? Answer is golf. T is associated with golf. Moving on to the next question. Cristiano Ronaldo Cristiano Ronaldo is related to which sport? Answer is wrestling. Moving on to the next question. Whom the Dronacharya award is given? Answer is courses. Okay, courses. Dronacharya award given to those who train players. Moving on to the next question. Irani trophy is associated with which sport? Answer is cricket. Next question. The Indian football team made its first appearance at Olympics in thus answer is 1948. Moving on to the next question. Which field is Deepika Kumari's related? Answer is archery. Deepika Kumari related to archery. Moving on to the next question. In which year Dronacharya award was introduced? Answer is 1985. Dronacharya award was introduced in 1985. Moving on to the next question. Durand Cup associated with which sport? Answer is football. Durand Cup associated with football. Moving on to the next question. Gambit is the term associated with which game? Answer is chess. Gambit is associated with chess. Moving on to the next question. How many players are there on each side in a football match? Answer is 9. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Davis Cup is related to which sport? Answer is tennis. Davis Cup is related to sport. Which sport? Tennis sport. Davis Cup. Moving on to the next question. How many squares are there in a chessboard? Answer is 64. Okay. Moving on to the next question. The term double fault is associated with which sport? Answer is tennis. The term double fault is associated with tennis sport. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Which country was readmitted to the Olympics after 21 years suspension? Answer is South Africa. Okay. With this I conclude today's video. We'll meet you in next video. Till then, bye. See you soon.